Hello everybody, Thetimics here. Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. The Unknown Benefactor Challenge, 4 races left, and it's essentially a 4-team race. We can probably pretty safely drop Boa Esperança out of it. They haven't been doing much, and they've been gradually falling off the pace after a strong start to the year. Of course, we've got a solid lead, but not insurmountable at all. Less than a point, or less than a race's worth of points ahead of Steinmann, Panther, and Scuderia. Steinmann and Scuderia seem to be the bigger threats, but Zoe Sharp is always there with Panther. And the last race was definitely our roughest. So I'm hoping to bounce back from that here. It looks like we might get some rain. We did just get a part finish up. The rear wing. There we go. And we need to continue working on more of those. So we'll just throw this in here so that we have no time or cost, and we do have great parts available on this. So we're going to probably keep going a little bit higher with the development. Not particularly expensive there. CSN, Central Sports Network. Pascal Becker demolished the competition. Do you think the WMC is becoming new predictable? I'm going to say he just got lucky. He's mad at me. Hey, that's fine. I don't care. There's our rear wing. And our car repairs have now been completed. Got a sponsor to deal with, but I don't need that just yet. So we're going to want to be working on the gearbox, the front wing, and the brakes to the extent they need. I think we hit reliability pretty close last time, but yeah, we still need the gearbox. Those are the two that we're using. Forget about that rear wing. Forget about the suspension. Front wing. We got the brakes and the engine in, so we pretty much just want to work on those. And then I think those same three in the performance aspect. Front wing's already there. Boost the gearbox. And the brakes are already there as well. Let's see. So getting those to 100%, I believe that's all we need. So I don't want to do any more than is required. And we can put more in here aside from that gearbox. And I think we definitely want to put the engine in. So I'll just do the one, I think, because that'll get everything that's up there pretty much maxed out. And see, reliability 19, and you had the better performance. Yeah, so we want to stick with that as it is. Ooh, 3 hours after the race now. Okay. And another new rear wing. That's our second one. And this is locked. So let's see how many of these parts we're actually going to want. This one. Boy, lots of risk level stuff. Do we really only want 2? Could go with 4 and do the risk level -1 and then add a risk level. But do we have time for that? Take a look at our calendar again. But I think we probably just... might. Let's see what kind of improvement these would actually be. Like our current parts... The current ones we have are... Okay, max out 1028 is the better one. So let's see if we just did those two. 1088. That's not a huge difference. We could effectively double the gain. We get another 70 to 1158 if we did these two. But yeah, I can't just, like, I'd have to pick something here. I have to pick something on this level to get to this level. So I need this one. And then I could start... This would take 13 days, or... Yeah, I need 13 days. About 14 days each. So we're talking about 28... just over a month before they'd even be ready. Like 39 days before I could even start working on them. Which would take us into the beginning of November. I don't think I've got the time. I don't think I've got the time to do that. I don't think it's worth it. So we're just going to take... It's not a huge gain, but we're going to take what we can get. Yeah. All the high risk levels. No, thank you. Don't want any of it. Okay. Yes. Continue anyway. So that's going to be minimal improvement, unfortunately. But we're going to ride with it. Okay, so we've got design center, all that in place. Let's check in on our part improvements here. Yep, we can just get back up to 21 and 9, and that's it. Okay, happy that we're in first instead of second. And Jen Samuelson wants us to know more about Singapore. 45 laps, decent chance of rain. Fairly short. That still seems to be quite a bit for this particular circuit. The front wings are going to be the key part. And if we look at that, well, we suck. Overall, it's our worst part relative to the field. 8th instead of 10th on the rear wings, but yeah, that's not too exciting. Getting a little closer, but not quite ready to make that move. And happy about the design center is Andrew Hawkins, the lead designer. Cool. We did just upgrade it, so you should be happy. There we go. We can bump up one more person into the performance. And another rear wing is done. So we've only got one more to go. And I think we'd also probably be well served to shove everybody over here. And then as soon as that stuff's done, throw the rear wing in there. These are not going to get a huge amount better anyway. Let's design another one that looks the same. That's probably going to be everything we do for part design. I'll take another look at that after it's finished. But whoa, 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 I went by it. So that's a mistake. Let's throw you in there. And we'll just get whatever work done we can. It's time for our sponsor selection. We have... Alright, we're looking for that middle of the road one that we normally use. 5th, 6th, or 9th. Let's go with 6th. I don't think it really matters that much. Money is not an issue for us. And overall, seemed to be about where we were. We stayed in 5th. The engine is 3rd, gearbox 6th. Brakes are 6th. Suspension is 4th. And then we've got our front wing still 8th. And dead last for the rear wings still. Okay. Onwards. So, we're expecting some rain. We're expecting 28 degrees. It's going to be hot. So I think we can leave the softs alone. Going to go with our usual 5, 3, and 1. The 3 is going to be on the mediums because I'm going to assume we're going to need those for race day. 9th and 14th. Worst we've ever seen. Awesome. Let's just make sure that we've got everything that we want. And yeah, we're looking to boost up these rear wings, but other than that, we're looking good. So I think we just keep going with it. But yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck for that prediction. Alright, take a look at that weight stripping. After I set my drivers, of course. I believe this is the first time we're going to have everything maxed out. So that's 390. Take an extra 10% off Gonzalez. And honestly, I think we can even do 15. So that's what I'm going to do here. So we haven't come close to having parts problems with her yet. That nurse is really a powerful ability. Okay, 660 on that. Weather. It's warm now, but it's going to get much cooler. No sign of rain. So let's do our usual qualifying first. Pretty close on everything, except we want a lot more acceleration. And boy, that's a big difference of opinion there. A lot more downforce requested by Gonzalez. And also more understeer, along with some significant acceleration. Might have changed those a bit too much. We'll take a look and see. At least I remembered to change the trim this time around. And Gonzalez leads us out, both drivers at 7 to begin the practice session, so all of that is very excellent. The winding streets of Singapore. And this is probably going to be one of the longest races we've had so far this season in terms of total race time. Gonzalez setting the pace, but it does look like it's going to be over a minute. Oh, well, let's go ahead and once more understeer. So go ahead and come in and do that. And so do you. Won't set a time just yet because we want to fix that. Nice to get something perfect right off the bat, though, and the only thing we didn't nail was the handling. Because the downforce is pretty good as well. You wanted it stiffer. So we'll go with that, and then we'll see what other adjustments. I think they might have meant looser. But we are going to trust the driver as always. Not so good here, and I think we're going to go with the extra downforce that was working well for Gonzalez. Won't go quite as far, go to 6.7. And then, yeah, you said you're struggling with the tight corners, so let's go about there. And there on the speed. See how that works out. There's our level 1 qualifying. You see the time's coming in a little over a minute, but that still puts things at, you know, getting close to an hour overall. So it's a bit on the longer side for the race, but more fitting for it to be maybe 35 to 40 laps for this championship. But it is what it is. Doesn't like the handling. But Allo likes her changes to the downforce. So, Gonzalez, you told us the wrong thing. And because of that, you still haven't finished a lap. So that was poor. We want it near the top. Something around there. Yeah, we just want to keep the speed balance fairly close. We'll tweak that later. Here's Allo running 8th, now down to 9th, but still, that's pretty good. Likes the handling improvements. Up to 6th. Gonzalez likes him as well. Okay, so I think we can come in here. Gonna do it anyway. And we'll see if Gonzalez can finish this up for us. Gonna have to go around again. Okay. Just barely needed to. Switching to race trim, switching to medium tires. And we went from poor to good on the downforce. And I'm not sure which way to go, but I'm going to pull it back and see what you have to say about that. Handling's right where you want it. Oh, let's check. We went from great to good. Okay, so we want more speed. Let's try that. See how that fits. Eighth and 10th early, though most of the cars going with harder tires. Doesn't look like we're going to have much, if any, time to go after the softs anyway. Now we're getting close. 97%. I want to leave the handling right where it is. Race trim, medium tires. And we might be able to get away with a super soft and a medium for the race. That's something to keep in mind later. Okay. Downforce is still great. Nailed the handling, so we want to leave that right where it is. And then the speed there was great. Yeah, okay, so we need to get a little more top speed. And probably a little bit more downforce. So we want to start tweaking that. Then get that back up there. That should be really close to right on. Cora liking the speed, outstanding. 8.6, 8.3. Both drivers really driving well today, which probably explains our unusually competitive times. Thinks we made the right tweak on the downforce. Boy. Both drivers above 9. I don't think I have ever seen both drivers above 9 at the same time. That is remarkable. And in comes Aloe. Let's see what she has to say. It's not right yet. That's pretty much what she has to say. 93%. So we went from poor to good to still good. Probably more downforce. Try going up to 27 there. And then on the speed, great, good. Probably a little bit more speed, a little bit more downforce is what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's try that. Should be real close. And we'll see what Gonzalez has to say. We hit the nail on the head with her car yet. And there's our level 3s, so we're all set up in terms of trim. Just want to knock out the setup. Looks great. You go ahead and come in. What does Gonzalez have to say? 99%. I'm holding there. Just going to keep her in and see what Aloe has. Not quite there on the downforce. We're at 98%. That's the only thing that needs changed. Let's try moving even further. This might throw these off, but, you know, we need to answer one question at a time. And we won't have time for more than this lap, so if that isn't it, then we'll figure it out in qualifying. So, middle of the pack practice, probably better than we deserve, and yet definitely well back of the top drivers. You can see there's a pretty big gap after the top 5. Don't see us cracking that during qualifying, but you never know. Becker disappointed not to be at the top, talking about Sanjay Modi, Dieter Wexler, and yeah, nothing about us. Nobody's either impressed or depressed by us. We just kind of were there. Supposed to be stormy during qualifying, so said the preview. Instead, we've got bright, sunshiny weather. Definitely want to do our super overtake and qualifying. And qualifying and super softs. Take a look at our setup. We nailed it, only at 98, so 99 and 98. Not perfect, but pretty darn good. So we're going to aim for one set here. Oh, it is going to rain. It very much is going to rain. So we want to be done just before the 6-minute mark. So how long do we wait before we go out? I think I'm going to wait for a minute and a half. Just get a little bit of grip going. And just in case it doesn't go quite right, I am going to send out Gonzalez first so that Costa's super overtake can go second. And honestly, we should be able to... You know what, I'm not going to risk it. I was going to say we should be able to fit in the top 15 on used tires, and probably could. I'm just not going to bother with it. Qualifying is not that important to us. It is a fairly short pit row here in Singapore. Gonzalez is set up. As is Costa. It looks like we're actually going to be early for this. Yeah, I think I should have waited another minute or so. Oh well. Gonzalez 6th and not happy with it, back to 7th. Costa's form fading rapidly, but is relatively speaking faster. Happy with 5th, so that puts us in 5th and 9th. Should be enough. And we're not going to get any faster on a wet track. So let's just see what the rest of the session has. Got good and wet and then almost dried out again by the end. So a intense but quick downpour. Dieter Wexler finishing on top. Becker, Sharp, and Lipponen all within 3/10. And per usual, we lose only cars from the lower ranked teams. We've got Scuderia, Steinmann, Panther, Steinmann, Scuderia, Nikolai Surikov of Panther, the only one of the top teams not finishing up there, along with, of course, us. Then Boa Esperanca finishing there. So the top 10 is the top 5 teams completely. On to Session 2. The weather less clear at the beginning. Will it turn south? We're going to have some early rain. Actually, it's going to start with light rain and then it's going to go away. It's going to dry out late. So I think we definitely want to go out after that. We could try for 2 attempts or 1. But given how much better the track's going to be later, I think I'm just going to go for the 1. Let's speed this along a little more. I want to go out, I think, around 2 minutes. Probably push that up to about 2:15 just to be safe. No point in cutting it close in this situation. Yeah, there's not going to be much grip. There's some others going out. I like the idea of going out after they do. This should be good. Almost blew the temperature there, but didn't quite. Same thing with Gonzalez, so I got a little close. But yeah, I could have waited another 30 seconds and made it. So I definitely want to probably pull that down if we get into a simple or a similar situation in the final session. I'd probably want to pull that down to about 150, 155, probably 150. Unhappy with a 6th place finish is Costa, but it'll be enough. Don't know if Gonzalez will be enough. 8th. Unhappy with it, but I think it's going to be enough for us to move on to the last session. So this time it was sharp, edging out Becker by 1,000th. Once again, all of the top teams moving on. We're looking like we're just ahead of Bo Esperanca. Again, Surikov in 10th, so Panther not great, but Steinmann and Scuderia having the speed edge on us once again. Got plenty of tires here. It's looking like it's going to be dry the whole time. You know what? Let's see if we can do 3. Let's just try to give... Well, no, we only have 2 sets of tires. Alright, just wait around for a bit. I'll wait till about 9 minutes and give it a run. Actually, no, I'm going to go down to 8. I just want to make sure there's plenty of time after it, but at the same time that I'm not, you know, going out when grip is super low. Try it at 8. I think we want to go with... I'm gonna stick with Costa first. Drivers are both still with strong form. Wow, look at that 109. Costa only at 7.4, Gonzalez in the upper 8s, but now sliding a bit. Okay, so we had a gap of 138 from Costa leaving to Gonzalez crossing the line. So, going at 150 at the end would give me enough of a buffer, but also a chance to get maximum grip. Or, not maximum, but higher grip than anybody else had for their run. Costa 6th and unhappy with it, but he is closer than he was last time. Maybe he could get Lippinen, you never know. And 7th for Gonzalez. So when you're predicted 9th and 14th, and you're looking at row 3 or row 4, 6th or 7th, can't complain about it. We're going to be sitting in here for a couple minutes. It's like Costa getting stronger and Gonzalez getting worse, unfortunately. I'm hoping so. Alright, Gustavo, let's see if you can keep yourself in row 3 at the very least. Almost got a little too cute there, but it worked. Yeah, I'll go down, go down, go down. There we go. Now we're in the right range. Stay there. Good. Yep. Timing was just about right. Costa is faster. But the other cars got about 0.3 faster themselves. Still, as long as he keeps improving on what he did the first time, stuck here alongside another car isn't going to help. Yep. did just barely get ahead of Lipinen. Gonzalez fading to 5th or 9th and sticking in 9th. Okay. 5th and 9th. Still not bad. Wexler clearly making himself the class of the field there at the end. And can't argue with it. 5th and 9th. Solid upgrade, and then we'll just have to see who we need to take out during the race. But if we can perform that well, we'll be in position after we do that to finish fairly high. Here's hoping. Alright, so we've got a lying fan here who says that we're awesome. Go team, Audrey Hickey. And people complimenting Wexler for being on the pole. Catano sports cars looking like a circus. I wouldn't go that far, but I do think they're kind of ugly. Okay. And yes, it's going to start out with light rain. This is the second attempt for me at this. So I tried to get a little bit too clever. It unlocks our tires and lets us use inters. And I said, you know what? It's not going to be that wet. So I thought, why don't I use super softs instead and sort of outsmart everybody? And as it turns out, the penalty you get for using dry tires with a significant amount of water on the track is much worse than trying to gain anything with dry tires versus the inters when there's just a little bit of water. So if there's any significant amount of water at all, it appears that the inters are better. So it's just not worth the trade-off. So, we're going to go with race trim super softs. No. Race trim and mediums, because that's what we're going to be using later. And then nurse and the race trim. Okay, so we're going to stick with those tires. We're going to knock down some fuel. Going to go with 4 laps on Costa, 5 on Gonzalez, and I might be able to get away with 6, but I'm not going to push it. Maybe she'll be able to push or something a little bit later. So we're going to go after it at first. And these are rated at 18 to 20 laps. And I really don't need to get more than about 15 out of them. So I'm going to probably push them, relatively speaking. Although it is very warm at the beginning. So Costa with an 8. Gonzalez with a 7. And up in front, we've got Wexler and Becker at 6. Saarinen at 9, but Sharp only at 3. Let's see if we can keep relatively close to the front. 7-8 and 7-1 at the very beginning. Pretty good start for Costa. Not as good as Lipinen, but, you know, boy, everybody right in there together. Goodness, look at that top 5. Suffice to say, this is way better than I started last time. At the end of, like, I think it was 4th lap or 5th lap, I was down to 19th and 20th. I was holding my own for the first couple laps, and then the water started picking up, and yeah, it was over. And Gonzalez in 8th as well had already slipped down to 11th or 12th by this point. So, liking that. And I'm going to try to, in order to sort of do okay but extend the life of the tires, I'm going to push for this second lap. Then I'll switch to neutral at the 3rd. That might lose me a spot here to Becker, but it's a spot I was going to lose anyway, eventually. And here goes Lipinen. Oh, nope, stayed ahead. Good. Gonzalez still in 8th. And yeah, that's probably a good spot to burn that speed, see if we can do something. Nope. Still behind Saarinen. Surprised to see him back that far. Alright, we're going to go neutral now. The tires aren't going to tolerate much more abuse anyway. It is hot out here. The rain getting stronger, and it's only getting warmer. It's going to be really warm and then it's going to cool off later, but it's still going to be warm. I'm going to be grateful to have those medium tires. If Costa can hold on to third, that would be great, because we do still have the 2 cars to sabotage. Use up some of the speed there. Probably was a bad place to do it. But looking good so far. And Steinmann and Panther are our targets at the moment. Gonna wait a few more laps before I even think about making that decision, but let's go with Costa. Let's go with Gonzalez. Boy, just not quite able to make that pass. And I do need to go conserve now, because there isn't so much tire life that I feel like it's okay to waste it. So Lipinen up to 4th. Pressuring. I've just got to hope to get through this lap, then maybe be able to switch up to neutral. Use that little bit of speed that we've got, but I don't think it's going to be... Oh, that was. I kept the inside line. Very nice. Costed back to 9th. I don't like that. When we get around to that speed section again on this lap, I think I'm going to try to go neutral. Still don't quite have the tire temp for it. Sharp and Becker, though, running away with this. And here we go. Let's go neutral for this. There's the speed burst from Wexler that we survived. Switch back to conserve. And so far so good. Now we'd only be 4th overall, but we can change that. And I don't see a good reason not to just take out Sharp and Becker if things stay this way they are. Sharp is Panther, Becker is Steinmann. Overall team standings. That's who would finish this race in 2nd and 3rd if we don't. Knock the best driver for each out, and then see how that treats us. I think I want to do the same thing again on this lap. Just go neutral for that loop. Yep. Cars behind us getting anxious. And switch to conserve at the end. So we're at about 60% on Costa's tires after 8 laps. That works out to about 5% a lap. Comes a real question of how long we want to stay out here, but certainly as long as there's significant water on the track. Which, I mean, it looks like that's going to be at least till lap 15 or 16. No, you don't. Should we still be out on inters right now? Yes. There's going to be a little bit more rain. Notice nobody else is coming in either. Just saying there might be a reason for that. But I think they're also starting to wear more because of the lack of water. Here comes a little more. Neutral. Neutral again. Although, no, let's go conserve there. You have plenty of room ahead. Let's save your tires. Costa switches back to conserve. And we're through 10 laps. The rain is still coming. The temperature 30 degrees. And we've basically used 2/3 now of our good wear on the tires. 6.4, Gonzalez down to 4.3. That's not exciting. I think we're feeling a lot more comfortable here about our position ahead of Wexler and Saarinen. Part of it is Wexler's at 44. Oh, using that speed burst, that's no fun for me. Saarinen 41. So our tire wear is a little bit better. Yeah, we're going to need to push it on this lap. If we even get there in the right position. You know what? Speed burst. There we go. And now we'll go neutral. So barely holding it off, but look at how low, like Becker really frying the tires. And now coming into the pit, and the thing is, yeah, this early, yeah, see now Becker's going to have to go in for a second time. And that really raises questions about whether Becker is really the person I want to hit. I do think I want to hit Sharp. Wait one more lap. Let's go neutral for a bit with Gonzalez. Yeah, we're going to want to come in soon. Let's do it here. Let's knock out Sharp. Okay, so Scuderia and Steinmann are about even. Scuderia was ahead coming into this race. That's not a small consideration. Wexler, Saarinen, Becker, and Lipinen is the other Steinmann driver and is in the pits. Let's see what Lipinen comes. Well, does it really matter? Do I want to hit Wexler, Saarinen? Do I want to hit Wexler or Becker? That's the question here. I really should decide it now. And because of the pit strategy, I'm going to go with Wexler. Because Wexler is doing better, probably going to go to the right kind of tires, only make one stop. There we go. About as good of a call as I can take. Okay, Sharp crashed. It's only a one sector yellow. Wexler crashed and bingo. We definitely want to sneak in that pit stop and go to mediums. That's why I timed it out at this point. And we're going to want to be real conservative with the tires. So let's go low on the fuel. And now for the cars that just went in, like Becker, that they're really unhappy with me. got to get 31 laps out of tires that are rated for 32. And because of that, I don't think I want to take them above... Yeah, I'm going to go with push at first, but I'm not going to go with any higher than that with those tires. So everybody out there has pit. We've got varieties of tires. We're second and fifth. We're the furthest ahead tires on mediums, which means we're the only cars. We're the ones in front that have any chance of finishing this race on our current tires. So I like our positioning. Now we've got to execute it. And, okay, let's get around to the end of this next lap and then make a call on how we're going to handle the fuel situation. And by the way, if we stayed here, Steinmann would still beat us right now because of Becker. 14-point lead there, though, and we'd have a big lead over everybody else. Essentially would have almost knocked everybody but them out. Not bad. Okay, so now we've got to make this turn and, do our competitive strategy here. Now, a lot of the other cars are on faster tires. The other thing is, fuel-wise, got 29 laps to go, and you can see, I can't afford a huge amount for either driver. So I'm going to go overtake and push, but I'm only going to do that for one lap. And then I'm going to drop down to neutral on the gas. There's Costa down to third, at least temporarily. Trying to compete with Saarinen and not doing it. Boy, 2.9 for Gonzalez, 5.0 for Costa. That's a big hit. I'm going to go neutral now. Might lose some spots, but I'm going to go high on the fuel. That I think I can swing. I'm not even sure of that in Gonzalez's case. But I want the tires to be neutral. And wow, Harry Chapman has crashed. So another competitor taken out, although it's not really a competitor of ours. Alright, let's go medium here. Should have already done this, but I want to burn the speed in the loop on this track, or on this lap around. I'll get the right phraseology eventually. We got some competition behind us. Now go, go, go. No, I meant to go with Costa, not Gonzalez. Whatever, both of you burn it. So Costa's right about at the sweet spot right now on fuel. So go medium the rest of the race. Gonzalez is pretty close to that as well. We're going to want to back off on the tire wear. temperature is going to drop on its own here, gradually over the next few laps. Yes, we'd be second overall in the race, and we would lead the championship at this point. Boy, Surikov right behind, but gonna have to go in soon, like fairly soon, so ignore it. I want to start tracking what kind of wear we're getting on these tires after this lap. Really got to start honing in on that. And you know what? You go conserve right now, Gonzalez, because you're not getting anything done where you are. $24 to go, and cost us at 82%. Well, you know, I need to go conserve with you now, so I want to track that later. Right now I've just got to drop the temperature on both of them. If we count it since they came out, it came out with 31 laps to go, but we did some of that on like low usage, so that's not really going to help. There, when I was just starting to get track grip, so it's going to very, very slowly get faster. Well, past the halfway point of the race. And Gonzalez drops a spot. Could have done without that. Only driving at 3.7, while Costa is up at 7.9. "21 laps to go, and we're at 75%. Let's see how. Let's track it on conserve. Looks like a little over 3%. With another 20 laps to go. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it. So we definitely don't want to do anything higher than conserve. I want to stick on conserve the rest of the way. And then we're going to be crawling around the last couple, 3 laps. Got to see if there's any way I can make that work, because if it doesn't, we are in trouble. And there goes Surikov in. Other cars, like Vidal's behind us. The other cars on the soft tires will have to go in for sure. Going to be able to push a little bit with Costa, at least if the car holds up. Looks like it will. Gonzalez. Car still looking pretty good there. Might have enough fuel to push. We'll check that later. I think we've saved up enough to do another round. Pulls Gonzalez a little bit further ahead of Vidal. Same with Costa and Lipinen. And we've got 17 laps to go. Track is down to 26 and getting cooler, so the temperature on the tire is also going to drop faster. Oh, and here's a nice little counter speed burst by Vidal. But it doesn't look like it was quite enough. I really can't afford to go to neutral here and fend this off. But I can't afford to go high for a bit. Let's just do that through the first part of this lap. Costa over a second up. We'll switch back to medium, and I don't know if that was enough, but I don't think I can do much more either. The other thing is Vidal's tires are much more worn, so we'll have to go in. Wouldn't be the end of the world if he got that pass. Becker's going to be going in soon here. Or slowing down, one or the other. Costa pulling away from Lipinen. So we're looking pretty solid here. Not spectacular, but solid. And if anything close to these standings hold, then we'll just want to really hit Steinmann hard the next race. Do have to hand it, despite my smart aleck comment to the media, you don't have to hand it to Pascal Becker, who is clearly establishing himself as the class, the WMC this year. Last race, this race, both of them running away with it. Of course, it doesn't help that I've been knocking out his key competition. And there he goes into the pit. Let's see how long he stays there and what he comes out on. Super softs. We'll try to finish the race on those. And ahead of us, only lost like 12-13 seconds in the pit. Costa looking more and more comfortable. Gonzalez, not so much. Vidal continues to be right behind. And still so, even though I'm using that energy. "11 laps to go. It looks like we might be able to get up to the mid-teens or even close to 20 for our finishing tire remaining. But still, that's still not good. I think the next lap will use some speed with Costa. Becker trying to track down Saarinen, and will, because Saarinen's going to have to come in. A lot of these other cars going to start pitting. Then we'll see where we are. I mean, Gonzalez conceivably could definitely finish 4th. And here comes Vidal in. And Gonzalez has several seconds on everybody else. The key is staying close enough to these other drivers. Lipinen, okay, is coming in here. Alright, so let's watch that. And here comes Gonzalez back. Fifth behind DeGraaf. Just into the red zone on those tires, so we'll have to wait a bit for that stop to be made. You should be fine. Yep, you are. You've got some parts that are a little iffy, so I'm not going to push with you yet, but... Saarinen out in 3rd and not far behind Costa. Almost certainly going to catch us over this last handful of laps. Definitely want to try to use that speed burst when Saarinen gets close, I think, is going to be the time. DeGraaf is going in now. So 2nd and 4th here really our best case scenario. And in that case we lose 5 points to Steinmann. But we would be over a race of points ahead of everybody else. Saarinen with mechanical issues, so if we can hold on. It's close behind us now. We're going to use the speed on this lap. I got it back out to a 2nd. Then, of course, the next item in the toolbox is to go neutral. Question is it worth trying to wear Saarinen out by doing that? I think we've got to. What's our condition? Okay, we're going to go high and neutral here. Not for very long, just going to have to watch that closely. Let's go high with Gonzalez also for a bit. No, terrible place for that. Continuing to watch those fuel numbers real close because I need to be able to back off when I need to. And actually, I want to take another file. I'm going to go down to 20% off on Gonzalez for the reliability next race. Starting in a couple seconds back, so let's back off. And Becker's tire is getting lowish, but not low enough that he'd consider coming in when leading the race. Need to go neutral for a bit here with Gonzalez. And behind him right now is Lippinen. I'll see your speed burst and raise you one. See, I'll stick neutral there. Stick conserve here. You only got to make it through one more lap though. Not wearing down as much as Becker's. Okay, Gonzalez. Final lap. Can't really, I don't have the fuel to do much. I'll use that last bit of speed at the key point. So we're approaching now. Looks like we're going to be okay. Looks like we're going to hold it off. There we go. Lippinen unable to catch Gonzalez. Second and fourth. I will definitely take it. Let's definitely put up a round of applause for Pascal Becker. Clearly, back-to-back wins, clear wins, controlling the race wins. Nobody penalized for illegal parts. So, second and fourth it is. Gonzalez slides to third overall as Becker has her on a tie break. Costa barely ahead in first. Probably not going to finish there. And yeah, we're only 14 points up on Steinmann, but 47 on Rossini, 48 on Panther. That's more than a race's worth of points with 3 to go. So if we can knock Steinmann down in the next race, we could virtually be home free. Great to see Dort Racing doing well. Hashtag deserved. And accolades for Becker as also deserved. Expected second, and that's exactly what we get. No surprises here. Gonzalez 4.4. Expected to do well, and that was actually her worst race of the year, worse than Ardennes, but her second best finish. So go figure. And then 6.9 actually cost his worst of the year. He's just been on fire. But also his second best finish since winning our first one. So 3 to go. Sydney is next. You can pretty much guarantee Pascal Becker won't win 3 in a row because we're almost certainly going to knock him out of the next race. Our headquarters is improved for all the wonderful good that's going to do us. Not a whole lot in this season, to be honest. And we're definitely coming down the home stretch here. So thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with more Motorsport Manager as we try to close out the Unknown Benefactor Challenge. See you then.